Let us pause and reflect on the moments that make up the fabric of our daily lives. After the loss of my best friend, I found myself clinging to the simplest of moments. A cup of coffee brewed early in the morning, the familiar hum of the coffee maker, the warmth of the liquid in my hands. These small rituals, once taken for granted, became a reminder of what had been. The absence, however, is felt not only in what is physically gone but in the silence that follows. One of the things I miss most is our digital connection. Messages, photos, video calls. We didn't always have deep, profound conversations, but the simple act of sharing a moment with him digitally provided a kind of connection that was always there. I remember our last video call. It was so simple. We spoke about the mundane, the little things in life. Yet in that moment there was a sense of peace. He was still there in the digital traces left behind, just as present as he had ever been. And then the call ended and the silence returned. After the loss of my best friend, I found myself turning to our shared digital space for comfort. The texts we exchanged, the photos we took, even the playlists we shared, all of these digital remnants became my refuge. In those messages I could still feel his presence, hear his voice in the words he had sent. There was something uniquely comforting in the digital realm that held on to him in a way that the physical world never could. As I scrolled through old conversations, a particular text from him stood out: "No matter what happens, I'll always be here for you." Those words felt like a balm to my soul, reminding me that even though he was no longer physically present, our connection remained. These small digital moments had become anchors in the storm of grief. The beauty of these digital traces is that they never fade. They live on even after the person is gone, continuing to offer solace when nothing else does. In the days following my best friend's passing, I became more aware of the simplicity of the connections we often overlook. A message, a photo, a shared laugh. These simple moments, once inconsequential, became the foundation for my healing. It was through these small acts of digital connection that I found the courage to move forward. I began to appreciate the simplicity of these gestures. One evening I stumbled across an old photo we had shared on social media. It was of us at a concert, smiling and carefree. At first I felt a pang of sorrow, but as I lingered on the image I realized that it was not a memory to mourn. It was a reminder of the joy we shared, of the life we lived, and of the love that had existed between us. Even in the digital world where everything can feel so temporary, I realized that there are moments that transcend time. These simple moments were my path to healing. Grief is a complex journey, one that is rarely linear. Some days I found myself overwhelmed by the sadness, the absence. On other days the digital traces of my friend brought unexpected comfort. I began to explore these small digital connections more intentionally. I would watch old videos we recorded, listen to the voice notes he sent, and scroll through photos that held both joy and sorrow. It was in revisiting these moments that I started to rebuild. Each video call, each shared message was not just a digital relic of the past, it was a part of my present journey. These digital memories became a canvas, a place where I could mourn but also find the strength to move forward. The beauty of these moments is that they offer more than just memory, they offer connection, a bridge between the past and the future. When I lost my best friend, I didn't just lose a companion, I lost a part of myself. He was more than a friend, he was a brother. And in the digital world where memories can live on, I found a way to still connect with him. Through shared memories and the ongoing conversations we had online, I was able to keep his spirit alive. It was in the small, seemingly insignificant digital moments that I found a deep sense of connection. There were no grand gestures, no dramatic moments, but there was something deeply spiritual in these shared fragments of our lives. The more I embraced these digital memories, the more I felt my grief transform. It became not a weight to carry but a source of strength, a reminder of the love and bond that still existed. As I continued my journey of healing, I began to explore the contrast between the frantic pace of the digital world and the stillness I needed to heal. The notifications, the messages, the constant buzz of social media, it was all too much. But in the quiet spaces where I could turn off the noise, I found the peace I desperately sought. I started to disconnect from the constant barrage of notifications and gave myself the space to simply be. In the silence I found clarity. I began to reflect on my relationship with my best friend, not in terms of what I had lost, but in terms of what I had gained. The digital space that once felt overwhelming now felt like a sanctuary, a place where I could process my grief and find peace. Through the quiet, I began to find new purpose. The loss of my best friend, while painful, opened up new possibilities. I realized that my grief, my sorrow had transformed me. It had led me to a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. I began to focus on what truly mattered, on the small acts of kindness, on the simple moments of joy that I had once overlooked. One of the strategies I embraced was giving back. I started to reach out to others who were grieving, offering support through messages and digital platforms. It was through this simple act of giving that I began to heal. The process of helping others helped me help myself. And in this process I rediscovered my purpose. The loss of my best friend had taught me the power of digital connections. But it also taught me the power of digital charity. By offering comfort to others through messages, by offering a prayer or a kind word, I found my own spirit renewed. The act of caring for others through digital means became a form of spiritual healing, a way to reconnect with something larger than myself. It was through these simple acts of charity that I found a sense of peace. I realized that the digital world, while often overwhelming, could also be a space for compassion, for healing, and for connection. In the act of giving, I found the strength to move forward. As my healing journey continued, I realized how powerful the smallest digital moments could be. A message of support, a shared memory, a kind word, they all became powerful tools in my transformation. It was these small moments, often unnoticed, that became the foundation of my new life. Through these moments I discovered that it wasn't the grand gestures that mattered most, but the quiet, everyday acts of love and care. These small moments were the ones that helped me heal, that helped me move from grief to acceptance, from loss to hope. Now as I stand here, looking back on my journey, I realize that losing my best friend wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a new chapter. The digital space where our memories still live continues to be a place of healing and connection. And through these digital moments I have found a new purpose, a new direction, and a new hope. The next chapter of my life is not defined by loss but by love, the love I carry for my best friend and the love I now share with others. And in this love I find my strength. I invite you to reflect on your own journey of grief. What small digital moments have helped you heal? What simple acts of connection, of kindness have made a difference in your life? Because it's in these small moments, these digital traces of love, that we find our path forward. Let us embrace the quiet, the stillness, and the digital world as a space for healing. But the journey doesn't end here. In the next episode we will explore another story of digital grief and transformation. What happens when the digital presence of a loved one leads to an unexpected revelation? Stay tuned for a new chapter in this journey of healing and discovery.